You guys have to follow me and come into the car.
Gear controls pays tribute to the old school Ferrari manual selector. So
yep, this is how it looks like. You've seen it on all pictures. Let me open everything up. Look at that. Look at that. Crazy stuff, huh? Let's check out the car. That's how the lights look like. The smell of V12, lovely. Oh yes, yes, it's limited engine performance now. Of course, it's a cold start. All right. Lovely, lovely. Look at that. So you want to control the seats, you can control the seats, you can go back. Control the aircon, you can go back. That is fast. Oh, you can select which seat. You can select which seat to control. Go back. Go down. Off you go. Even this one. Oh, that is so cool. That is just so cool. I can do this all day. Oh, this is a very satisfying click. Lovely. Yeah. That's the Manatino. Lovely, 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 lovely. Don't bother about all those sensors telling us things because this is a pre-production and the car's not been started for a long time. Charging it, you know, so it takes a long while. It's revving the engine. Right. All right. Sweet. Yes, the Purosangue. Yes, there are many videos out there on the internet. Yes, it is not what everybody would assume it is. Right? People were quick to say it's an SUV or whatnot, but this is so much more than it. Really. Okay, let's begin by talking about how SUVs became so popular, right? And why every single car maker were being talked about by every automotive fan, you know, saying that, hey, you guys shouldn't bend your back the other way, Porsche making SUVs, Lamborghini making SUVs, Aston Martin making SUVs. Yes. But this is different. Not just in the form factor. No, not that. This, okay, I wouldn't say that the SUV thing did not trigger Ferrari, okay, but the whole idea of Ferrari even begin to ponder this is totally different. You have to understand what I'm saying here. What triggered Ferrari into even begin to think how to go about this thing is totally different from all the other car makers. All of them is for market share, is to earn more money, is to prevent the company from going bankrupt. If you think about it, right? Porsche made the Cayenne to save itself, to sell as many as possible. Today, Porsche is making close to 300,000 cars a year, all right? Earning a lot of money from the Cayenne. And of course, sharing the platform from Q7, from Touareg and all that, okay? I mean, I'm not dissing the Cayenne, but I'm telling you, the whole starting point and the objective of a Cayenne and an Urus is totally different from this, all right? Aston Martin made the DBX because they need more sales, right? They need to sell more cars, they need more sales. Lamborghini as well, Urus, right? And then we have this guy here. Now, throughout the years, Ferrari has been bugged by their owners, okay? And even the most loyal owners, think of those people who buy not just SF90, people who buy SP1, SP2, you know, people who consign Ferrari to make special models. Those people, Ferrari's most loyal clientele, have bugged Ferrari non-stop, saying that I love your cars, but I need a daily as well. I need something that I can bring my family around as well. It's not just racetracks all the time. Okay, that is what. And Ferrari all this while is no, I'm not compromising. No, I'm not compromising. But finally, Ferrari thinks that let's rethink the whole thing about what is a Ferrari in the modern day context, right? Ferrari is something that dares to go beyond, does crazy shit that nobody does, right? And it's always an amazing engine and an amazing experience and something really, really exclusive. You see, even Ferrari's cars that are not limited, they hardly make more than 10,000 of them, all right? Just a couple of thousand and that's it, it's ended. They're gonna progress to another one. They were never hard pressed on chasing sales from the very get-go. Ferrari has never worried about sales, all right? So when every car maker, Lamborghini or Porsche or whatnot, right, when they make their so-called SUVs for daily, they price it at the lowest entry level, right? They price it there to attract people into the brand, to earn more money, to make more money. Not with Ferrari. Ferrari's whole idea of Purosangue is, okay, I hear my customers, I hear them, and now I'm willing to sit down and from a blank sheet of paper, come up with something that I think deserves the Ferrari badge, the Cavallino on the car. What would that be? Okay, first of all, it needs to be practical because the customers say at least 4 seats. Okay, so it needs to have 4 seats. That's the first thing. And then they love cross-continental driving. They need to have a huge boot. I mean, not gigantic, but usable. The car needs to be comfortable. The car needs to have entertainment. The car needs to be a pleasant place to be in. Okay, those are all the basic formula that Ferrari wants to have in this car. And on top of that, it needs to be a Ferrari. It needs to capture people's imagination. It needs to punish people who don't work hard enough. It needs to punish people who aren't loyal enough to the brand. And it also needs to shut the mouth up of the naysayers, of people who think Ferrari is going this route because it wants to print money, because it wants some form of, like the US Treasury, quantitative easing, right? No. When Ferrari did this, it's purely for their dear customers, not in need of money, right? Ferrari wants to tell everybody, I am different from the other boys, okay? I'm not doing this because I'm in the red. I need money. No, screw money, all right? That's Italian. So what Ferrari did with the Purosangue is this: the doors cannot be just a normal door, right? It has to have a sense of occasion, especially when you step into the car. And a rear hinge door that is motorized by this giant arm befits that of Ferrari. No, Ferrari is an engineering company, you know. So by doing this, the car immediately gives a totally different vibe, especially when you are stepping into the car. Okay, and this is my vantage point from inside. Look up. I'm surrounded by glass, the panoramic roof, the aircon vents, right? The rear is a nice place to be. My size 11.5 feet. Look at that. Okay, so this is done. It's spacious enough. And then they only want it to be able to go through most of the daily stuffs in the modern urban scape. It's not meant for river wading or whatnot, no. But it needs to be a car that you can fly over speed bumps if you want to, and then throw it into a hard corner if you want to, and then pick up somebody important from the airport if you want to, and then pick up your date, which is your wife, and your loved ones, which are your kids, at the back, and then go on a 3-week or 4-week, drive from London across the tunnel, and then arriving at Calais, and from there driving down to Rhine, and then driving down to Lucerne, Interlaken, right, and then into Milan, and over to Venice, coming up to Salzburg, or can turn back to, Stuttgart or Frankfurt, and then go down south to Monaco, Cannes, and can continue on to Spain, to Porto, and then back up Madrid, and then Paris, and then back to London. This is the kind of car that Ferrari wants to create for their customers, So the basic recipe of something like this is not an SUV, but it has to be a usable Ferrari that can carry luggage, fall in comfort, do the things it does, and looks amazing with its frameless doors, those large doors at the back, the front, and then look at this bonnet, the way it opens up, the way the horns point to the skies. And by the way, the headlights are down there. Those are daytime running lights. And then the optics of it, look at the optics of this, right? It is something that Ferrari just goes F you to the naysayers, right? 23-inch wheels, they're massive. They are absolutely massive. Okay, I can hold a basketball and then drop in their crazy 6.5 litre V12, put the entire engine behind the front axle, effectively making it a front midship engine, a V12 naturally aspirating V12 in their daily family car. Ferrari calls it a Ferrari utility vehicle. This is true because Ferrari's starting point is totally different from everybody else. They're not entering the SUV market to grab sales, grab market share, earn more money. They are rewarding their customers who stay with them all these years. And how to prove my statement is correct? Because they have stopped selling it. Nobody can order it now. Nobody can sell one now. It is all fully sold, done, deal, no more, zilch, none. Okay? And when Porsche sells a Cayenne, they price it below the 911. When Lamborghini sells the Urus, they price it below, of course, the Aventador, below the Huracan. What Ferrari did with this, the Purosangue, it is priced above the 812. Let me repeat it again. Maybe I repeat it with my emotion. It is priced above the 812. So what this means is, if you are an owner of an F8 Tributo, right? Or even if you own a 458 Speciale, and then you look at this car, and then you realize you have to work harder in order to buy this. This is not Ferrari coming down to you or somebody else. This is telling you, in order to buy Ferraris, in order for Ferrari to reward you, you need to work harder. All right? So I'm not joking. I'm not joking. The allocation is done. Malaysia only received 20 over allocation. It's completely done. Many more people all over the world wants to buy it, but no, you missed it. You know, because you haven't bought enough Ferraris in the prior years. You haven't worked hard enough. You should work harder. This is Ferrari. This is attitude, and I love it. All right, I love it. So this is the whole starting point of this. Now, back to another thing. Most of these kind of cars need to be able to rise up and down, adjust the suspension comfort on the fly. Most of them goes to what? They go to off-the-shelf solution. They order air suspension from who? Probably Continental, right? And then after they order air suspension, make their tweaking, and bam, done. Not Ferrari. Why? Because air suspension has an inherent problem. You don't feel the car as well. Air suspension disconnects you from the feel of the road. Not just through the electric steering and all that, but air suspension has that layer of unsureness to it when you are driving or cornering hard. Ferrari hates it. So what did Ferrari do? Ferrari worked with a Canadian company and came up with a mechanical adjustable suspension on the fly, meaning all four corners have servos and gears that can adjust it up and down, hard or soft, on the fly. Okay, now hard or soft, there are many solutions all these years, right? You have hydraulic suspension with valves that open and close with additional chambers, right? A dual flow valve and all that. And then you have magneto-hydrological suspension where you have the magnetic fluids inside that can be energized by electric charge to change its viscosity in the suspension in order to make it hard or soft. But what Ferrari did with this mechanical suspension is so groundbreaking that not only does it replace the function of an air suspension, the car technically does not need another thing that is very commonly placed in these type of cars, you know, like Cayenne, Urus and all that. The active dynamic anti-roll bar. All right, so most of them has an anti-roll bar with a 48 volt active anti-roll bar with a 48 volt mechanism in the middle that twists and artificially pushes one side together with the other side so that it doesn't to reduce body roll, right? But the car, the Purosangue, does not need that because each corner is adjustable on the fly, up and down, soft or hard. Now, let's come inside. This interior design language is something we're all too familiar with in terms of gawking through the pictures, but it's generally the new generation Ferrari interior. All right? The shifters, I'm so used to it now after having a great time with the Roma in Sardinia. And of course, there's a lot of touch panels all over the car and cup holders that you can hide. Alright, that's pretty cool. The key is here, engine start button here, and like all the recent Ferraris, the touch sensitive stuffs are here, and all physical buttons are here for the lights and the wipers and the indicators and that's the huge carbon fiber pedals. All right, over here there are the panels for the lighting as well, exactly the same as the Roma. Okay, and where there are haptic feedbacks where you can touch. Now this one is very different from the ones in the SF90. As you can see, there are indentations there. All right, so you won't accidentally hit it because you need to first press it, and then you need to first press the middle here, and then all this will light up. Then only you can press them. So there are like 2 layers of safeguard. Now, how's the visibility like inside this car? Right, inside my driving position is fantastic, and the driving position is just great. I don't even know where to start talking about it because it's such like a spaceship inside here, man. This is like a spaceship. This is the most spacious I've ever been in a Ferrari. And see the leather stitch, very nice. I love sun visors that are crafted hand by hand in leather and stitch. Lovely. All right. And then here we have the window switches all in the middle. Lovely. And then this is a lot more solid than the one in the GDC 4 Lusso. I always complain that. Right, then you have, of course, USB port, 12 volt sockets inside. This one is a wireless charger, nothing much, clean. This one rises up for you to change different stuffs, you know, be it the aircon and all that. Of course, it's a visual drama. Of course, it moves. There's a servo in there, and things that move might one day stop moving. Doesn't matter. It's the drama. Okay. The other thing is this side passenger infotainment screen, which is very new for European cars. Something normal for Chinese consumers. All right. Aircon vents for them. For the side passenger, even angled towards him or her, and then with a screen where they can operate their stuffs. All right, up here, so nice. The lights, the indication of what they do. All right, it's very, very clear cut, sort of like a chrome surface. Okay, And the leather, need I say more? The leather that is used throughout this car, all the way, of course, top stuff, right? Best of the best material being used in a Ferrari. Now these are, yep, gloss black plastic. The one on my Aston is actually piano black wood, so this is gloss black plastic. But it's a Ferrari. You can spec them, okay? You can spec to the moon and back, okay? Now the door card, interesting, Alcantara here, yellow stitches. The handles, look at the way they craft this handle. In between there's a metallic surface, and then front and back leather work. Lovely. Electronic release button. I'm sure there is a physical release somewhere out there. Here, there you go, that's the physical one. And then you have the memory for your seat adjustments, boot opening button, and that's about it. The door cards all covered in Alcantara. Even here, all are Alcantara. All the way here, Alcantara, everything. Yeah, still charging the car. Lovely. Oh. Now this is very likely a pre-production model, left-hand drive pre-production. Okay. Seat adjusters and the seat backs, pretty nice as well, comfortable. See, the car isn't very big, all right? If you look at the height of the car, look at it. It's not a very tall car anyway, okay? Let's come inside here. In terms of space-wise, there's nothing, you don't need to compare it against anything. Think of it as a 4-door Ferrari that is just enough for you to carry passengers in comfort, all right? In terms of room that I have here, what I have here is not a lot different from the likes of the GTC4 Lusso. I get probably more headroom and that's it. In terms of legroom and all that, the GTC4 Lusso does it really well as well. Okay? Now, from the rear, I get aircon vents in the middle. I get aircon vents on the B pillar. I get some controls I have over here, the window switches, and sort of that's about it. Cup holders with a little cover cushion that looks like a headrest. Right? Interesting. I think this one, right, they just do not know how to design it, and then they just go with making it look similar. That's it. That's interesting. Okay, this one exactly the same as the front. You get a wireless charger inside, 2 USB ports, and that's about it. And then it's a big panel roof. So in essence, yeah, it has way more room than my Rapide. In terms of this, and overall, you know, ingress and egress, but the execution is similar, except the fact that this is way more practical, way more high-tech, you know, than the likes of a Rapide. It's a pity that Lamborghini did not pursue the Estoque. If they did, that would be cool. All right, so yep, this is a fantastic execution by Ferrari. And think of it as I don't know, CX-30 Plus for the ultra rich, for people who must have a 6.5 liter V12 for their daily drive, which I wouldn't mind doing if I'm one of these clienteles who happen to be in the queue and can afford it. So how much is it? When you see one on the road, it's about 5 million if you register in Wilayah, in Peninsular Malaysia. All right, so this is what they meant by, oh, good, you have an 812 now, work harder, probably one day you'll be able to buy a Purosangue because it's 5 million. And why they price it this way? They're not afraid nobody would buy. People fight for it. That's the allure of Ferrari that no other brands so far are able to emulate. None. All right, so this is the achievement of Ferrari. Amazing. Yeah, it's a pity that it ran out of power from all the fiddling, everybody fiddling with the car. Yep, no choice. Make do with what I have. I'm just glad that I'm even able to touch it. All right, that's the Purosangue. What a car, what a car. Thumbs up to Ferrari. All right, kudos. Well, if you are out of queue to get this, probably you can get this. Right, this is, I believe, is available. The Ferrari Roma. I've driven it. I'm thank you so much to Ferrari for sending me to Sardinia to drive the car, to experience it for the international launch. All right, so this is their modern, new age sports car, everyday sports car. It's very, very comfortable, very easy to drive, extremely fast. 3.9 V8 turbo, and so easy to drive, to go in and out. So I have 3 videos that I've shot on the Roma Spider. So, and my wife was with me. So yep, go check them out in Malay, in Chinese, in English. All right. And one thing I want to tell you all, this is the first convertible that I think Ferrari did something amazing. Look at this cover. Usually you will be able to see this when the roof is down. So what Ferrari did is, when this roof opens up, the fabric roof looks exactly the same as this. So what Ferrari did is that you can spec different fabric roof to complement your combination. So if you have a red color one, once the whole thing folds in, you will see this in red color as well. This is to emulate the Roadsters. You know the Roadsters, this panel, the first panel, usually opens up here and they hang out here. So that is a very nice touch. All right, very classily done. I don't know if that's a word, but that's very, very classy of what Ferrari did. Okay, so again, Ferrari shows everybody how it's done. Okay, how to play this game, and they are really good at it. Yep, that's the Purosangue. And for those who don't know, Purosangue means pure blood, thoroughbred. All right, look at the wheels. It almost looks like I'm on wide angle to give you this weird perspective, but I'm not. That is how big the wheels are. This is how exaggerated the proportions of this car is. Look at it. At which point does it look like an SUV? It doesn't. There's nothing SUV about it. It is a 4-seater super GTC 4 Lusso with 23-inch wheels that are jacked up. Oh, I know what to call it. It's a Dakar version of the GTC 4 Lusso with 2 extra doors. All right? All right, guess the video is long enough. And yep, that's the Purosangue. Ferrari is doing this just to show off. I'm here just to enjoy the car because the car is sold out. They don't need more sales. They don't need people to come and drop their order, give you the best customer service to beg you to buy their Purosangue. Nope. Ferrari doesn't do that. Ferrari shows you what you cannot get and what you cannot afford to buy. And that's the Purosangue. Cheers.